Welcome everyone to this special edition of the Power Hour. We are doing a full review of the 2014 National Conference, and this is part 3 of the full review of the National Conference. And tonight's featured guest is Director of Product Development, Joel Berntsen, and we are going to be talking about the new Thrive Smart Home and also the American Wind Energy Challenge. So we've got an amazing show packed full of information. First thing I want to do is I want to welcome Joel to the show. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Andre.
So it's been kind of crazy for you. There's been a lot going on, and now the National Conference is behind you. What did you think of the conference?
I thought we had an incredible event this year. I had pretty high expectations from it just because I was at last year's conference as well, and we had so many new announcements we made last year, so many exciting news and updates as well, and this year I think we topped ourselves. There was a lot that went into it, and it was really fun for me and the audience for parts of it to get to hear the news as well. So it was a great event, very well attended, very well produced, and a lot of exciting stuff to announce, and I think the best is yet to come. So
I know how crazy it was at corporate, so many moving parts, and you know, I'm sure there's a sinking feeling sometimes. Are we going to be ready? Is everything going to be in place? But it's incredible and really an amazing testament to the work ethic and the professionalism at all the amazing people that are at North American Power. You guys pulled it off.
It comes together. It's definitely a team effort. I had my hand in a few things that happened, but there's a lot of people that work behind the scenes to make not only the event come together, but also bring to reality all the things that we announce and make it a special event and an exciting time for everyone.
So one of the most, to me, important announcements that came out, and it was the first announcement, our CMO, Greg Breitbart, started Friday with, announcing this name change for the network, and that was exciting. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I thought it was very well received, which is obviously what we were hoping. But really, we reached a point as a company and as an opportunity where we actually outgrew the name North American Power, and for us to continue pushing ourselves, we need to be able to be bigger than just providing energy. And at some point, North America may not be big enough as well, and we wanted to come up with a new name that really represented the values we stand for, represented the direction we want to go in, and where we've been pushed, as a company because of all the excitement in the field. So we think Thrive is a great name that encapsulates all that.
Absolutely love the name. And what's really amazing to me is it was very well received, how it was rolled out and how it was explained. But we're in a transition period. And I think it's really important to explain to all the reps that are independent reps with us, with North American Power, that they need to understand that there is a transition. It's going to take months before we transition to full Thrive websites, full Thrive business cards, information. So what is the most important thing that independent representatives need to know when they're going out and sharing our products? Well, what do they need to know?
I think it's going to be it's a very important point, and I'm glad we're talking about it. We're still going to be offering products through North American Power. So the energy products that people have been offering up to this point, those aren't going away. That's all staying the same. We are in this transition period where the representative opportunity is going to become Thrive. That transition, it could take us through the end of the year. I'm hoping a lot of it's done before then, but there's so many pieces that go into that to make the website ready, to update materials and videos and business cards and all that sort of stuff like you mentioned. People should stay focused on, when they're talking to someone brand new, North American Power, until we provide materials otherwise from the corporate side and really push that transition forward. People should stay focused on North American Power being the first brand that they introduce people to. And then as they see interest in the products and services that North American Power is offered, there's so much more that Thrive represents that can be introduced at that point, and we want to bring that into the fold as quickly as possible. But we don't want people to be confused about is it North American Power, is it Thrive? It's going to be both for a little bit, but first conversation you have with someone, the materials still say North American Power, so use that as the first part of your conversation at least.
That's an excellent point. Until this transition is made, everyone, stay with North American Power. We will have internally the conversation about Thrive. Among reps, we're talking about it. We're discussing it. I'm making transitions. We're calling this the Thrive Power Hour. So we're getting used to this. But when we're out there sharing this, I mean, we don't have our website fully functional or the back office reflecting, Thrive independent reps. So very important. Until that full transition is made, you are a North American Power independent rep / soon to be a Thrive independent rep. So when you're out there sharing, just deliver the message still with North American Power and the tools of North American Power. In a few months, everything will be in place that will show just the Thrive branding. But you have to give corporate
it's a little bit of time. I have certain deliverables that I have to hit in October, and that'll be one of the key points in the transition for Thrive. But there's other stuff that could take a little longer than that. So really over the next few months, you'll see probably in a couple waves, certain things getting released, and we're going to be very busy on the corporate side to make sure it all comes together for everyone. But until the website changes over to something else, make sure the customers understand that it's North American Power's products they're signing up for.
Awesome. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the new product addition to the Thrive network, because it is actually an addition specifically designed for us, the referral network, right? Yes. So let's share with this, and let's share this first slide.
So this is actually one of the slides that Greg used on stage when he was introducing the new Thrive brand. And the reason I wanted to put this in here is it really, I think, helps paint the picture for what Thrive should represent. It's living life at its best, but it's living life with your family and those you love at your home. So making your life better at home. Greg shared a great stat. I believe the average person spends about 2/3 of their life at home. If you're maybe if you work a home-based business like you get to spend more time there.
I spend all my time at home because I have a home-based business. I love being at home, so that would be way higher for me. So right now we're discussing really the evolution of the concept of Thrive, right? Okay.
Yep. So really what we want to represent with Thrive from a brand is it's better products and services for you at your home. So making your quality of life better, making it more enjoyable, making it safer, making it more peaceful, healthier, all these different things, those all tie into what Thrive represents. So Thrive is, living life and flourishing and growth and optimism, and it's all those values. So that's really what this slide represents. What Thrive offers our reps is really multiple product categories. So there's going to be a number of categories that reps will be able to offer products for, and those are all going to be innovative services that help improve the lives of people at their home. So what Thrive also does is it creates a much bigger 50-state opportunity for those who may have not felt like they had as much to offer outside of the footprint. They're going to see a lot of new products and services that are available around the country. So
this radically changes the landscape for independent reps in every state.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. So it's going to be very exciting for everyone that's out there telling us about their products and services.
So you've broken it down into a few categories. Talk about those categories.
So there's really, when we move to Thrive, we're not moving away from North American Power. North American Power is always going to be there. North American Power is one of the key service providers for Thrive. So we have Thrive Sustainable Home, which I'll go into in a little bit more detail, but that's really the opportunity that our independent representatives have had up to this point. It's our energy products, green electric, clean gas, American wind. Those all fit into Thrive Sustainable Home.
Okay.
There's a new category that we announced at conference that I'm going to go into some more detail on in a minute called Thrive Smart Home. That's really, our first big step forward with Thrive and why Thrive even needs to exist. And then this last category, it's sort of my mystery box one. So I'm in product development, and one of my challenges is to find new innovative services that meet the criteria we need. So 50-state opportunity, innovative, improve people's lives at their homes.
Good value proposition.
Exactly. Very strong value proposition. A customer that, customers want to be the customer because it's such a great, compelling product. So this mystery category, that's sort of everything in the future that Thrive could represent as well. So just imagine there could be new things, I don't have a specific time frame I'll commit to now, but there'll be other things we're introducing.
Have we determined yet what's coming in that area?
I have a few directions I'm actively exploring. So
okay, but nothing set yet.
Nothing's announced yet.
Okay,
nothing's 100% set. So,
but we do have the sustainable home set, and we have our first product introduction to the smart home category.
Yes, and we'll go into detail for that in a second.
Okay, great.
So as I mentioned before, sustainable home, this is really everything that people have talked about to their friends and family up to this point. This is our North American power products, Green Electric, Clean Gas, American Wind. Greg mentioned on stage at some point we may be able to introduce solar for the network as well. That would fit into the sustainable home category. It's better energy products. So that's something that could go into that bucket down the road as well. But for right now, Thrive Sustainable Home is what North American Power has been up to this point.
Right, and it's all of our energy products that fit in this category.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So what do we have now here?
So Thrive Smart Home. This is our new category that we're introducing, and for a representative who's been out there just doing energy before, this is a new category of products and services that, if they're qualified for, they can earn commission on in all 50 states. So we did quite an extensive partner search to try to find the right partner for this. I believe I have some details on what those criteria look like in one of the upcoming slides, but really, we wanted to figure out what made the most sense to complement the energy products we've already had, and we thought a smart home made the most sense. So smart home encompasses home security. It also includes energy management products, so a smart programmable thermostat, and then automation products, whether it's your lights, whether it's your cameras, door locks, all that sort of stuff. So,
and I understand that the technology is moving, and the trends for the consumer is moving. This is quite a lucrative industry right now.
It is. So we did a lot of research on the space to figure out who the players were, where the space is going. It's growing so rapidly right now. I think it's doubling every year. We're actually expecting it to be a $71 billion industry just within the next couple of years. Smart home products, that's an enormous industry. If you compare that to some of the other industries out there, it's right up there with a lot of these other high growth industries. So, if we're offering energy, which is always going to be a huge opportunity, we're coupling that with smart home management as well. It's going to be a huge opportunity, and it's home security, which is just a subcategory of that's been growing every year for the last 12 years straight.
Well, if we look at this slide, just talked about the growth of smart security and home automation. What do those numbers look like?
What we're seeing, let's jump to the next slide, actually. This will actually give you a sense of where it's going.
Well, let's just, because this slide is just showing now, I just want everyone to if we could just bring their attention to it. 71 billion a year industry by 2017. And here's what's exciting for me. It has grown every year for 12 straight years. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this industry is not going away. It's growing very rapidly. There's so much attention that's on it right now. There's a whole segment of the economy that's becoming what's known as the Internet of Things. And the Internet of Things is connected devices. So your refrigerator knows, your refrigerator knows what the temperature outside is going to be, so it adjusts how much energy it uses. Your cooking range knows how long to cook something for based on temperature changes and what time you're coming home. All those things are happening, and that smart home category is going to just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So for a representative who maybe just joining or only known about energy up to this point, energy is just the tip of the iceberg as far as where we can go with Thrive and the types of products and services we can offer. And I think smart home is going to be one of the critical pieces to our success and our representative's success.
Yeah, and if I could just add to that, because when you're sharing this, there's two things that automatically come to mind. One is a smart car. Mm-hmm. And I look at the car that I drive today compared to 20 years ago. And it's amazing to me, if my tire's losing air, a light comes on. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally everything is computerized, and there's sensors, and that's really what a smart product does. It lets you know if something is not working properly, or something can be more efficient, or it really allows you to get information right there in real time and adapt. Now, the other side of the smart home, that an idea that came to mind was, there's stories out there that, can people hack into it? Because I think it's important that we address that right away, because there are some stories, and it comes down to this. We have a computer, right? Everyone has computers now. Yeah. People hack into computers. Why? Because you don't put in a proper password. You don't take the necessary step to update your stuff and everything else. Now, the company that you chose has a stellar record.
Yes.
I mean, there has been absolutely no incident.
They're absolutely remarkable. They have proprietary systems, which, they don't outsource a lot of stuff. They keep it in-house, so it's all maintained within their own walls and their own environment. But to your point, one of the really neat things about their technology is they can actually push any of those critical updates remotely to the system. So you don't have to worry about actually doing anything. The system automatically updates itself. And really the only exposure anyone would have is if they don't set a good password on their end, which is the same thing with your email or anything else out there. If you want to protect your privacy, make sure you use good passwords, change them regularly.
It was the first thing, the first concern, because listen, my wife was the very first or second person, I believe, at national conference, and we'll get into it, but to make the decision to install a system in our home, and installation is happening September 9th, I believe. Yeah, and it was the only question I had. Yeah, what's the security like with the security system? Yeah. And when I spoke to the representative, who was absolutely incredible on the phone, and again, we'll get into that, it made perfect sense. It just eased my, okay, great, because we made a decision to move forward with it, and it just gave me peace of mind knowing of the kind of record that they have. Now, this next slide talks about the movement towards these smart homes.
So there was a great article. It was the cover of Time magazine. Literally just I think it was in the middle of June, so just a few weeks back almost, talking about what the smarter home is and how the future is now for a lot of the things that people have talked about for so long. There's a lot of companies that are trying to get in this space. Big brand names like Google, Apple, Samsung, AT&T. Right. All these companies want to be in the smart home space because they see the potential of it. One of the challenges that they have is that they haven't actually been a smart home company until now. They're trying to get into this space. So Time covered a bunch of different companies in their article, including the one that we decided to partner with, who really specializes in the space.
And so we had some criteria to develop this partnership. Could you share with everyone what that criteria looked like?
Yeah. We were very selective about who we chose as our partner. We wanted to make sure that they were a company that shared our same values. We place a lot of importance on those because at the end of the day, our representatives are going out there putting their name on the line for the products and services we offer at North American Power, and we want to make sure that we live up to those expectations and we don't disappoint anyone. Similarly, this partner is going to be counting on referrals from our representatives, and if our representatives are going to attach their own name and their own reputations to it, we want to make sure that they are a company that cares about that and that matters too. So that's absolutely critical. That was first and foremost, before anything else got considered, we had to make sure that we were aligned from that perspective. We're looking for a company that has unique and cutting-edge technology. A lot of companies out there that sort of just piece together products and services from all over the place, and it ends up being this disjointed experience. Your system seems more like Frankenstein than your friend. So we wanted to make sure that it was someone who really understood the technology and had something unique to offer. And when proprietary, exactly. Something that's simple for customers as well. So you'll see a lot of new DIY solutions that are coming onto the market, and they're very interesting. One of the reasons we didn't go that direction is because
you said what
DIY, do it yourself. So,
okay,
so there's a lot of do it yourself solutions that are coming on the market that sort of fit into the smart home space. One of the big disadvantages I see for that is it's a lot of money that people have to pay out of pocket for the equipment up front, and then they're sort of stuck to support it on their own and install it on their own. And having been involved in testing these systems for our company as part of this evaluation, it's not always easy to know where things should be set up, how they should work together, and we didn't want to make this be something where people who aren't super technical would feel like they couldn't take advantage of it or that they'd have a hard time using it. So it had to be something that was easy for a customer, no matter what their technical expertise was. We want to make sure that we felt at the end of the day that it was the best product on the market, that offered the best value, exceptional service, and we found one partner that we think met all those criteria.
So when we look at the next slide,
Mm-hmm.
that partner that met all that criteria was
Vivint. So Vivint is, we can jump to the next slide. Vivint is our partner for the smart home category. Why we chose them, they have over 850,000 customers, very big, very successful company, focusing on smart home solutions. So they're America's largest home automation company. They're actually the fastest growing and second largest home security company as well. So for everyone who wants to understand the competitive landscape a little bit, ADT is the biggest home security company. They're not even they're very distant second as far as smart home goes. One of the things about ADT that when we were reviewing them, we realized they've grown because they've acquired other companies. They haven't grown because of their own success.
Right.
It's been acquisitions, and Vivint's really just had this incredible organic growth where it's been new customers coming because the customers like the products. Just they're growing the way that we want to grow.
like
Exactly.
we are growing.
That's
Right.
how we've been growing, how we want to continue growing, and I'll explain in a little bit why I think they are growing the way they are, but it comes down to their products and services.
Right, that's awesome. So share a little bit about what makes them so good.
Yep. Vivint, they really have what we consider the best-in-class customer experience. We tested, as part of our partnership evaluation, we tested the systems of ADT, Vivint, several other companies as well, and we actually had over half dozen systems installed at employees' homes that we were able to compare, see the equipment hands-on. I got very detailed notes from all the participants about what the process was from getting the order made to getting the system installed and how the system worked after it was installed. And we did this as a blind mystery shop. So Vivint and all those other companies, they had no idea it was any sort of test. They thought it was just a regular customer calling in, because we wanted to have a real genuine experience as a customer, not something where they were able to put their best foot forward.
Right.
And just by far, the best equipment, excellent service, really knowledgeable technicians who did the installations, really knowledgeable people over the phone helping customers figure out what package and product makes sense for them. And we really think we found the best partner we could. One thing that makes them very unique, they have a fully vertically integrated platform. And by vertically integrated, I mean everyone that you interact with when you work with Vivint is a Vivint employee. So the person on the phone who's taking the call, they're a US-based employee of Vivint.
Okay.
When you have the equipment installed, that installation is done by a Vivint employee who pulls up in a Vivint company truck. It's not like they outsource all these different pieces to different companies. Even their software and their hardware is manufactured exclusively for them. So
Excellent.
they have in-house designers. That's actually when I got to first meet the Vivint team. I went to their innovation center where they do all the product designs. It's an incredible science lab, basically, and they're building the future right there in front of you, and it's really cool. So more so than any other company in the space, they've got the whole package from end to end, and they control every one of those touch points to make it the best experience for customers. So,
And I got to tell you, one of the most important points on that slide is the award-winning customer service. I think that is absolutely critical for the success of my business. Is that the people I share this with have access to exceptional customer service, and because that's how I get to keep my customers happy and people that I bring in as reps too. I want them to have a positive experience. So they have all, and they will take care of the customer service.
Yes.
When somebody gets a system in, if there's any issues or questions, the reps and the customers are always dealing with Vivint. Is that correct?
That is 100% accurate, and I think that's one of the reasons why their service is as great as it is.
Right.
Because these are people who are actually part of that company. They're not, someone who's overseas who you're making a couple dollars an hour. These are people that are really vested in the company. So.
So what are we looking at right now?
This is just to give a quick sense of what the actual platform looks like, what the experience as a customer looks like. When you get your system installed, there's different components that go into it, whether it's motion detectors, different things like that. All those speak to this hub that's sort of the brain of your security system, and it's called the Vivint Sky Panel. That's an exclusive piece of technology they have that's by far and away, the most advanced one on the market right now. It looks like an iPad on your wall.
Cool.
It's a touchscreen panel where you can control the entire system. You can program things, whether it's your thermostats, your lights, all that. And then
Can I get HBO on it?
It's almost big enough that you could. So, but that entire system then is also accessible via their website,
Right.
which there's a little screenshot of that, and you can do a lot of things through the website and through the app. It's really the best experience that we've seen on the market.
We're seeing a laptop. You can connect via your laptop, via your smartphone, through this panel. That's pretty cool.
And then there's service available 24/7 if you have questions or need help. So here's a little bit about awards, because we talked about award-winning service. There's a couple ones that I found real interesting on this. If you look sort of to the center left, year after we were named one of Forbes' most promising companies, Vivint was as well. So I think we're a distinguished company along with them. And
So they won. Vivint won Forbes, one of Forbes' most promising companies in 2013. But we did win it before.
we did. So we set the ground. We set the bar for them.
So we're in great company, and I noticed also they've won a whole bunch of awards, and they also won some Stevie Awards, which we've won a whole bunch of those awards as well. So they won a silver for sales and customer service for 2014. That's exciting. What I'd like to do is win the 2015 gold for sales and customer service.
I would love to see that as well.
That's what I would love for our company.
I can tell you there's a number of people in our office working hard to see if we can make that happen.
I'm hoping. So this is pretty impressive. I mean, they really are getting recognized. Consumers Best Buy. I mean, it's all over the place.
They're recognized for their excellence, and they take pride in staying that good. So that's a big reason why we think they're going to be a great partner is how hard they work to stay at the top. So
this and obviously since they've already won so many distinctive awards, they're not going to develop partnerships with companies that are not operating at the highest level of integrity. So they're excited with their partnership with us as well.
They're very excited to be partnered with us. We actually, one of the reasons that we're partners with them is we asked if we could go out and meet with them in person and really get to know them, and they got to meet Carrie and Greg and really get a sense of who our team was and what we wanted to be and how we would represent their products. And because they were so excited by what they heard and by seeing the values that our company has as well, they're excited and they wanted to make it a partnership. So,
well, I can tell you, I'm listening to all these amazing things, all these cool things I can put in my home, and the increased security, and then it comes down to this question: well, how much is this going to cost me? And then obviously the question for later is, how much am I going to make?
Yeah.
Because I'm an independent rep for Thrive, and this is one of the new offerings I'm able to make with my customers and with new reps. So let's talk about that. What does that look like? Where's the value for us with this partnership, and what would it cost me to put this system in?
They're great questions. So one of the things we were able to negotiate as part of our partnership with Thrive is we're always going to have a special and unique offer that's available through our representatives that's not available through the general public. I'll go over a little more specifics about what that looks like for right now. But as a starting point, you're looking at signing up for a package. That package is it's a multi-year contract that you sign when you become a customer. It's for anywhere from $53.99 a month to $69.99 a month, depending on which package you want to go with.
And I understand that my wife chose the home automation system, right? The $69.99 package. She went for the whole thing.
Yeah, so I'll touch on that in a second. I would say 9 out of 10 people are, and the reason is because it's such a great package. As far as a representative who wants to be qualified for the smart home category, it doesn't matter which package they choose as their personal qualifying customer. It could be the lowest package, it could be the highest. So many people go with the highest package because of what it offers, and I would recommend it from that perspective, but I also want to make people aware that it's really what makes most sense for them. Some people just need a security system, and so the lower package is fine, but if you want to get the full value out of it and really see what the system can do, the higher end package is the one to want to go with. So
yeah, and if I can share with you, Joel, we've been sharing this information with our friends and family regarding this technology, and it's kind of interesting because none of them had an issue with the price. All they cared about was, is it reliable, and is it the best out there? Because they are interested in something that they can count on. Remember when I said, how secure is the security system? I think this is an important point to make to all our viewers, all the independent reps out there. Don't compare apples to oranges, because if somebody's out there offering security systems for $30 a month, I'm pretty confident that they're not that secure, and they're not going to get the updates. They're not going to have the technology and all the things that come with this system. This company, and I understand how we operate as a company, we're only going to build a relationship with a company that offers the very best.
Yes.
First in class. That's the only thing that we're interested in. So I wouldn't waste a minute of my time with somebody that doesn't want the most secure security system and the smartest home automation system.
This is the best product on the market. So best doesn't always mean lowest price, but it also means that it's a very good value for what you pay.
So this is not the most expensive of them.
No, it's not by any stretch. And there's companies out there, you could find a package that looks sort of similar in some ways for $5 less a month. It's not going to be the same equipment. It's not going to be the same customer service on the other side of it.
Right, and that's the most important thing to me.
One of the things that actually goes in their product cost is their whole system isn't 100% cellular based as far as how it communicates and stays in touch with the monitoring station. So there's a lot of solutions out there right now that are hardwired that you need to have a home phone for. Some people have a home phone just because they need it for their security system right now. From a security perspective, how secure is the security system? One of the easiest ways to break those systems is just to snip the phone
we're
line.
talking about systems that are hardwired.
Hardwired systems.
The system with Vivint is cellular based.
Cellular based.
And there's one other thing that I understand with this system. It's cellular based, and it uses the cellular signal of a carrier that's the strongest in that area.
They have contracts with all 4 major carriers, so AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile. They have contracts with all of those, and their panel is compatible with all 4 carriers. So based on where our customer lives, they're going to be setting it up so that it has the strongest signal.
That's a huge feature.
It's a huge feature.
Yeah.
It's more expensive to do it that way, but it's the right way to do it because it's safer, it's more secure, and it causes fewer issues for the customer than the hardwired systems did. Plus, you don't need to keep your home phone if you weren't going to.
Exactly. You don't need a home phone.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely more security in that system. And again, the only thing that I need to properly secure my security system, home automation system with Vivint is a good password.
Yes.
Not my name or my wife's name or my dog's name. I mean, a good solid password that nobody's going to be able to figure out.
Not password either. Password's not a good password.
Yeah, password. And here's what's really exciting. When my wife said we're going to have a home automation system, and then my first question is, okay, how many thousands of dollars do I have to put out?
Yeah.
That was my immediate reaction. And when I'm looking at this slide, I'm getting on September 9th at least $1,300 or more in free equipment. Explain that.
So for just the most basic $53.99 home security package, that includes $1,300 of equipment that's professionally installed. You don't pay anything for that equipment.
Wow.
There is an installation fee, and it varies based on which package you get, but it's really, you're talking $100 maybe, for having someone come out to your house
And professionally
install, this
based on our needs.
Yeah, exactly. And this could take a couple hours because they want to make sure they get the system right and they get it tailored.
I want them to get it right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what.
So the $69.99 package means I could be getting $2,000 worth of equipment.
It's probably pretty close to that. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's thousands. Like you said, a lot of people have that expectation of if I get a system, I'm going to be paying thousands of dollars out of pocket.
Right.
This is nothing like that. So it's all installed professionally, and you get the equipment for free when you sign the contract. So.
Okay, well, I'm actually my wife is sold because she already purchased it, and it makes sense. I mean, I get it. It's I can't wait for this system to be installed and playing with it and showing, because here's what's cool. I want to show everyone what I have. Everyone that comes over, because it's mobile, I can show them the on my smartphone what I can do. So I can't wait for that.
You have someone coming to the front door. You say, "Let me know when you're here," and then you just push the button on the phone. The door will unlock itself.
Oh, that is cool.
It's a great product to demo. Energy is not always the most easy thing to demo, other than hey, I plugged my light in and it works. This actually is very easy to demo. You can show what's going on with the camera. You can use the doors, the lights, the thermostat. There's a lot of different components of this. You can all control with your smartphone wherever you are. So,
well. The next question that I have then is, as a rep, how do I benefit? As an independent rep, what's in it for me? And what's in it for my team? And everyone else out there that are independent representatives with Thrive. Can we talk about that now?
Yeah, that'd be great.